do as I say. Give me a disgusting helmet. That's not it. Try again. Oh shit!
It's fine. What's the worst that can be? Oh, fuck, cunt. It did not work at all.
Why, hello. How's everybody doing? Now the guy's a genius. Like, it was my bad. That's my bad. All right. So I have to come up with an idea of how I will make this tree look. What is your turn? It's my turn now. That's the build. The build is it's my turn now. Oh. I've decided fuck minions. I'm actually going to be a Cronomancer. Now, the bad part about being a Cronomancer is that the nice chaos nodes don't exist right there. But that's okay, because the spell damage ones do. So we're almost certainly going to come here. I'm just going to take whatever nodes I need for now. Now listen, but I also want to be over here. time because I probably want to take that whole wheel as well. Probably. Can we get a Discord poll of days until minion reroll? I mean, like, have you seen minions in PoE 2 though? They're just continuously disappointing. Like, they're just not fun. Surely the wolves will be better. I mean, maybe. I feel like that's maybe all I want to do here is grab that. I definitely want that. I almost certainly want that. I have to come over here for Black Flame anyway. There's no real point in curse magnituding because I'm gonna have them as blasphemies, and so blasphemies don't really, like, that doesn't really help, right? Just wants this Holy Relic. I mean, the Holy Relic build doesn't really play like a minion build though, right? Like, it doesn't. Okay, so if we grab that, I could take that as well. I would want skill effect duration, not increase, not reduce. Oh, we need to have that too. Okay. What are we now? Okay, that's not too bad. Getting those would be nice. Problem is, I kind of really want that as well, which then leads me to like 3 points there, or 2 points there, or 2 points there, unless I don't come up that way. What if I go through here instead? I'm also thinking Black Flame will be good with Wyvern. So maybe, but I'm not starting with Black Flame Covenant Wyvern. Alright, I thought you enjoyed Powered Zealots. So, alright, here's the thing. As far as all minion builds in PoE 2 are concerned, Powered Zealots are by far the winners. They do the most amount of damage in the most amount of area. the most coverage, the best single target, everything. And so if you only compare it to other minion builds, then it looks really good. If you only compare zealots to other minion builds, then it looks really good. And then as soon as you stop playing minions and you make another character, you're like, what the fuck have I done? What is all the investment that I put into this fucking garbage when I could have just been playing anything else? It's terrible. And that's the problem. If you get yourself stuck in the minion corner, you can almost trick yourself into thinking it's a good build by only comparing it to other minion builds. But it's not. It's garbage. It seems like it might be light on damage nodes, or no? I don't think so. So these fire ones do nothing, but flammability magnitude does. So flammability, 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 flammability magnitude, and ignite magnitude are all great. So those will be like the last things you pick up. Right? But I mean, here's a damage wheel. Here's a damage wheel. Here's a damage wheel. Here's essentially a damage wheel. Here's a damage wheel. Here's a damage wheel. Here's a damage wheel. Here's a damage wheel. How many do you need? How many is a normal amount of damage nodes? That was good better than we made it last league. Yeah, so I was just thinking of something a little bit slightly different though. I was thinking Sacrosanctum. Take what we're already doing and add recoup. Was my thought. I don't know how you feel about that. Recoup is always good. Recoup is always okay. Right up until you find out that we don't really have a fourth ascendancy that we need. But what we could do is take recoup over 4 seconds. And then it's like, oh, okay. Because then our ascendancy points look like that. We've got the enemy slowed. The temporal rift, which is like an echo alt or whatever. Time freeze. And then the last one is like, we didn't really have anything. Magical fire weapon, same thing as incinerate with rolling magma, oil breath, and dragon fire, using windburst to spread the ignite sport. Yes, that is also in my brain. That is, in fact, that is the reason I decided to start this, because I can test it out and respec into the wyvern thing if it's cool, if it seems to work. The only difference is we will not be ED contagion. It'll all be fire, real chaos, real ignite stuff, right? Because you can't, because it's not a spell, black flame won't convert it. So it has to become a real fire thing, but that's fine. So we have 40% generic recoup and 20% of everything else. So we're at 60% recoup here. which is also for life, right? Oh, that's without a sacrosanctum. I don't know how much these are, or if they were in the patch notes. Shit, did that thing change at all? Hold on. Sacro. Yes, it now has up to 20%. Nice. Very nice.
That doesn't work.
Boom. Let's assume I get a 20. So that puts me at 60% for everything, right? And an additional 20 for everything individually. So 80% recoup for everything over 4 seconds. Essentially, fully mitigating 80% of all incoming damage. Except, not really, because it also, damage taken recouped as life is also recouped as mana. So it's actually 160% of the incoming damage. But it's more than that because we got 20% increased recovery rate. So it's not 80% on the energy shield, it's 96% on the energy shield. 96% on the energy shield and 80% on the life. But we're only damage taking bypassing 5% of life. So that's... I kind of wish I had a little bit more than that. But I don't know if it's worth using the helmet. I don't know if it's worth using the helmet. Honestly, did something similar? Ah. A bunch of people did this. Good. This is the other guy from, so this was not an ED contagion build, but it is using the recoup thing. And it's I think it's one that's using real ignite, not my thing. They do use
guys together. If we work together, we can make me rich. As a community, let's all come together in harmony to give me money.
I believe this soul core has been limited to 1 this league, so I don't think there'll be any reason to put it in here. I believe. I'm not 100% sure though. What's its name? ESTAZ. ESTAZ. Yep. Is now limited to 1. Now grants boots 12% increased speed of recoup effect, previously 10. Or helmets 8% damage taken as life, previously 6. So this guide is using too many of those. Too many of them. But yes, I will still be using 1 probably. I think that the idea will be I craft some disgusting boots with 2 sockets in them, but because you can only use 1 of each of the things, it'll get 1 of the movement speed runes that are expensive to go as quick as possible, obviously. And then 1 of these new soul cores to give me 12% recoup speed, right? Because why not? Darkness enthroned as boots could double those. Well, really, it's 100% increased effect. You can already have 100% increased effect as the craft on the boots with 2 sockets in it. And you can't double up. You can't have them in the belt, and because it's still limited 1, right? Oh, is it 60 now? They nerfed that? Oh, so maybe, well, I still don't know if you do darkness though. Cause like, that's where my ingenuity belt will go. Would one break the threshold? What threshold? There's a threshold? I thought just get more recoup. And is it the bottom? What threshold though? I didn't know there was any recoup thresholds. Make it 3.2 seconds. Everyone is thinking that. I mean, yeah, it would only make it 3.5 seconds, but that's what's. I mean, where's the threshold involved in that though? Like, why is that a problem? Good. Serious disdain isn't mentioned here. Yeah, like certainly more faster is better, right? Like more faster is better and more recoup is better. I'm concerned that you said threshold, and now I'm concerned that there might be a threshold that I'm unaware of. Like that one would be nice. 20%, 25% increased speed of recoup effects right there. That would be really nice as well. You're talking about roundings? Yeah, but you only have to round for things that have cooldowns. Like thresholds only matter for things that have cooldowns. Otherwise, everything else goes down to server-ticks, which is like, it's like something like 20 something times a second that a new server tick happens. It's not relevant unless there's a like breakpoints aren't relevant unless there's a rapidly ticking cooldown thing, like cast on crit or holy relic of conviction or something like that, where you need to like perfectly match things. Yeah, I think I want to anoint this one. This 6% with 25% speed on it. It's just a little too far away, and I feel like I already have enough here. Because like this is already 80% with 80% to both with 20% faster on energy shield, and if I run at Ziri's Disdain, then he gets, you know, let's just say it's not corrupted. Between that and that, we get 15% bypasses. There's no need to have that node there. Yes, Wiki, it is 8 seconds. Unless you're a Cronomancer. Recoup effects instead occur over 4 seconds. But I've also still like taken too many points here. I feel like part of it is like this is a lot. This is a lot. I do like the extra jewel socket. I do like spell damage, and I really like skill effect duration, but this is a lot of travel. Like, I feel like maybe we don't do that. This is the old tree, so I don't actually know what it might look like. See, this costs 3 points and this only costs 2 points, but this 3 points comes with 30% maximum energy shield, right? So that's really one passive point for 30% maximum ES. Use that, which is, I believe that's the same in PoE 1. Every individual hit is a different recoup and they all stack. That's the same in PoE 1. So the problem with this now is that I don't really have enough recoup without that wheel. This is only 65% now, and I don't think 65% is enough. You can't make rings or amulets with recoup, can you? Just out of curiosity. Okay, so not rings. But yes, amulets? Ah. Up to 24%? Are you kidding me? An amulet can roll 24% recoup before life catalysts. %. I mean, that's 93% recoup on life and energy shield. Like each. Plus 20% more on energy shield. Plus this one that I would be anointing because of the speed. And I'm gonna miss this so bad. Not having to reload ever so nice. Yeah. Well, it's already like 120 on ES. And we'll have like 17% of life bypasses energy shield. So you'll take like 17% of your damage to life, fully recoup that, couldn't stop it. And then the rest of it to energy shield, which will then recoup more than the damage it takes. By a long shot. In fact, so much so, I may have overshot it. I may not need this much recoup. Also, it's worth noting that while that is the recoup for life, there is a different one down here that's just behind me that's a separate recoup for energy shield, which is 3.6%. Sounds like a ZDPS setup. Okay, let's have a look. So we've got our damage wheel here, we've got our damage here, we've got some damage there. We've got our damage wheel here for double curses. We've got our damage wheel here with skill effect duration. We've got our damage wheel here. We have our damage wheel here. We have our damage wheel here with +1 chaos. We have our skill effect duration wheel, which is also damage. And we've got our double damage here, including wither effect magnitude and extra as chaos. And 1, 2 joules. That's it. 2 joules. Yeah, this pathing was too long. I don't know if I love this. It is like 3 travels to get out here, and it's 777. And then, yeah, 29 and 20 global defense, but like, what if we just don't go out there at all? Like, can I get more damage a different place somewhere? See, I'd love to get this wheel. In fact, I think I'd rather have this wheel than that one. Because while I am actually doing chaos damage, these aren't actually fire nodes. They're flammability magnitude nodes. And ignite magnitude and ignite duration and flammability magnitude nodes. Which is like, it's an ignite. The single target is ignite. So these would be the only nodes I would take for specifically the incinerate. Right? Because everything else is chaos, which scales both. This would not scale my ED contagion. Right? But that's fine. I feel like that's fine. In recoup speed. I'm not even sure that I'll need more. Now there is, however, also an option to come down here and grab that for 1 more jewel socket. These 2 aren't wasted. We get a jewel socket, which is cool. The elemental resistance doesn't matter. Duration of elemental ailments. Magnitude of non-damaging. See, that one doesn't matter either. Ooh. I mean, like, I could take this bit. Maybe they aren't optimal. They're not super optimal. It will be 2.4 second recoup. Yeah, I just don't know that we need any more. Like, I am going to take this 25. And between that 25 speed right there and the 12 from 1 joule, plus the 20% increased recovery rate here, I feel like that's already enough. And like now my bigger concern is be better with damage. Like, oh, I actually don't have to take those 15s. That actually doesn't make a difference. Oh, so this is just a 3-point dual socket. I don't have to take those. I keep forgetting about that. They're like, you don't need to connect. Like, it feels like it feels like I expect this node and this node to not be connected. Like, I expect that I have to come through one way or the other, right? Like, I just expect that I have to, and I don't. But it feels like you're meant to, right? But you're not. Movement speed anywhere? I don't think so. There just isn't any. I mean, there's like this one. I like pathing like this. Yeah, I actually don't mind it either, but like it's weird though, because these two are just like, you would never connect, right? Like, there's just like they're just floaters. It feels a bit weird, that's all. But yeah, there's no movement speed. It'd be cool to get a from nothing here and get this shit while I was there. But it's only level 88 currently. But we don't know how good this wheel looks. You sure the nodes are gone? I think they just reduced values on a lot of the nodes, but I don't know what nodes, right? But yes, I will be able to craft 35% movement speed boots, and I will be able to craft them with the 60% increased effect of runes on them, and I'll be able to put 1 movement speed rune in it, and then that'll just be as fast as I am. Like, that's it. That's all the speed you get. Like, that's there just isn't any more speed, which is not perfectly ideal, but those for a late game. What do you have better mentions to jewels? Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm coming in late. Essence Drain Contagion and Incinerate as my single target as a Cronomancer. I'm redoing it. I'm not doing it the same way as this guy, but let me see if I can find that video again. Hold on. This one right here. This is where the idea came from. I'm just not a fan of his tree, and we are redoing some things, but
this is going to kill you. Man, what the heck?
no fun for the enemies here.
It's not.
So I'm redoing some things. I'm adding recoup, making it tankier, repathing the tree, and incinerate got a huge buff this league also. But this guy is where this idea came from. Next draft, next stacks. So let's go back up here. Let's watch this max level zest real quick. Oh no, it's boss fight time. Actually, it's my turn. Fucking stand still, bitch. Fuck you. Oh, that was actually all the turn you got. Oh, King of the Mist? Is it? Is it your turn? No, it's not your turn actually. It's my turn. You know what'll make the new Ziri fight not that hard? It's Ziri not getting a fucking turn. And so the important bit here is I'm adding a lot more tankiness to it for mapping and everything. And also Incinerate got a massive buff this league. I want this with Black Flame Wyvern. Black Flame will not work with the Wyvern. Wyvern is an attack, not a spell. Rolling Magma is a spell though? It is. But the flame thing won't be. Hang on, we're gonna go back because I was talking. This one's my favorite. Because this is the time stop boss. This next one. So like he walks in, he gets time froze. Oh, it's your turn. It's your turn. It's your turn. It's your turn. Oh, wait, is it my turn now? My turn now. You just wait right there. You had your turn. It's my turn now. Oh no, what happened to your health? Oh, how unfortunate. Like, come on. Man, I really want this skill effect duration though. I actually really want more duration in this build, but I don't know how to get to more duration. Like if I could get down there. Might not even be there after the update. Don't get hung up on it. I mean, true. But like this is the only duration. Well, this one and this one are the two duration wheels that I have. What are we anointing? Well, probably this node. 25% increased speed of recoup effects. Yeah, isolation. Maybe bonkers expensive at the start. True. True, but it's still the one I want. So we might anoint. Well, that's also got a white one. I mean, this one maybe to start with. Paranoia, suffering, fear. I don't think that's too bad. I mean, you could anoint this 6% here. That's relatively cheap. Paranoia, despair, ire. What about something that was damage related as an early anoint? I don't think I want that. I definitely don't want that. No. No. Greed, isolation, envy. Is that cheap? No, isolation is the white one. Nope. Isolation again. Double isolation again. Recent notice is expensive. Yeah. All of them. All of them are fucking expensive. What about slow magnitude? Oh, there's one right here. Damage with hits. Boo. And it's got suffering on it anyway. You fucking suck. Fear, despair, envy. That's also pretty expensive. Yo, they're all expensive, man. All of them. I mean, 25% ignite magnitude. Ire, despair, disgust. Yeah, that's like something mildly usable. Isolation on that one again. You're a piece of shit. What about like a curse effect one? Is there like a curse effect anoint? Double suffering. Jesus. Isolation. Suffering, fear. Is that cheap? Maybe. 18% curse magnitude isn't bad. I'll be running 2 curses. There's a second for the top. Damn it. Okay. Oh. Okay. There's got to be something, man. Isolation from you as well? I'm an infernalist. I don't even put my points back. I just played a witch to level 60 and then went infernalist. You stay an infernalist. Duration worth 4 passive points. Are you talking about these ones or these ones? I mean, yes, and I desperately need more. I desperately need more skill effect duration than I currently have. I don't know about 16 for just the 4. And build or just wow, I have no idea. Couldn't tell you that. That seems like it's up to you. You 210? I mean, it would depend on the build, and I have no idea. Ooh. See now. I really wouldn't mind this. I really wouldn't mind that. 21% cooldown recovery rate. 36% reduced slowing potency. And buffs expire slower. Which guide? Whichever one you're following. VES recoup. So that is what I'm thinking of doing. That is what I'm thinking of doing. Yeah, cooldown recovery. Yeah, it's for more time freezes. Yeah. Because time freeze is a fucking slow skill. Like it's got a long cooldown. So taking, 21% of that cooldown away is actually quite a lot. Plus it comes with a bunch of reduced slow potency. Ideally, you only press it once per map and session counter though. Yeah, and you do have overabundance on it, but the second use only applies for half the duration. But like, if you can't kill the boss in 1.5 uses, you probably just need more damage, right? So like, maybe not. Like, well, this is why I worry about the cooldown on freeze time. Because this makes you tanky to all generic mapping strat things. It doesn't mean that bosses don't still one-tap you. Only baited into going Shaman, have a bad league start once again. First time at Shulamong, second time with BalorMage. BalorMage is like one of the best classes in the game. You should not be having a bad time with BalorMage. Oh, before they fixed it. Before they fixed it to put this in as the first like free node to let you have, so that you could like grab that and the leech off the bat. It actually fucking sucked to start with. It sucked so much to start with. That's when I think started it. Ah, yes. Yes. Okay. Now Blood Mage is a fantastic start. But at that point, you just didn't ascend until you could do 2 of them at once, because your character literally got worse. If you ascend the first time and you're like, oh my god, I can't play, I suck. It was very bad. Using it for trash and just, yeah. So I don't think, I mean, obviously I can't make a build guide on this or anything because I'm going to be experimenting with some shit. But what I can do is make myself a rough leveling guide, right? And make myself some basic gear and be like, this is what I sort of plan to do. Be aware that everything is up in the air and I could change it at any point.
Had to get rid of ads LUL.
Lol. Mathic. Thank you for the prime. Like every content creator does with League Star videos. You say that like I haven't watched like 10 videos being like, this is gonna be my best League start ever. Here's a full guide. It's foolproof. Do this for an easy time. Mine's gonna be like, I have no fucking clue, man. Here's my plan, but like, follow your own risk. Infinitely extend the BalorMage, yep. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see starbs and whether it's like just better off to have one of those instead of. See, there are no like staff nodes though. So here's the thing. There are two ways to go with this sort of thought process. One of them is the way I'm looking at right now, right? Which is just Sacrosanctum at Xeri's Disdain and a bunch of recoup. And the other thing is to fuck off the recoup and the Sacrosanctum and at Xeri's Disdain and probably just go CI. And instead start like repathing for like faster start of energy shield recharge and energy shield recharge rate and things like that. Not worry about recoup, and instead just, if I don't take damage for a second, I get all my health back. It feels like recoup feels like I'm in one plate. Well, I mean, it kind of depends. How expensive is Sacrosanctum to begin with? How expensive is Xeri's Disdain to begin with? And to be fair, outside of those two items and this one roll, all the rest of it comes off the tree. So there's literally like 2 uniques and a single roll on amulets. I mean, without that and that, you lose all your energy shield recharge completely, and you only have 45% recoup, and it's only to life and 3 to energy shield. So like, if you don't have a Sacrosanctum, you're fucked. But if you just have a Sacrosanctum, then you're what at? What are we at now? Now it's 65 to everything. That's then doubled because you get both, right? You get it on life and energy shield. So it's, you know, instead of 65, it's 130. And then once you get an amulet, I mean, let's assume it doesn't have any quality. We'll just assume it's like a 20%er. Right? Assume it's like a 20%er. You're still sitting at 75% to both, plus an extra 3 to energy shield. Plus increasing that by 20%. You're not doing that right. $78. Mm-hmm. Once you reach 84, that's all of it. Right? Actually, it's better than that though, because you take 15% of your damage to life. So you actually only need to recover 85%. So it's still not quite enough at 65. But at 75, it would be more than enough. Oh. Yeah. At 75, you're over. Who's this build aimed at? Me. It's aimed at me. What do you mean? Fuck you guys. I'm making my own build. What do you mean? I'll share it. You think I made Holy Relic in PoE 1 for you guys? No. I made it because it's my favorite build that I fucking love. That's why we made it. Yeah, I'm still gonna turn it into content. I'll share the video. I'll share some video updates. I'll share my plan. But like the build isn't made for other people. The build is made for me, and then I'll do my best to share it. Right? Like that's the way it works. I don't know what to say. That's the way it works. Okay, so let's see if I wanted to do a recharge thing instead of a recoup thing, right? So recoup would all go away. Recoup could all go away. That's kind of all the recoup I took. That's insane. There's really not that much recoup on the tree. Yeah, I made 2 different trees. Okay, we want to go here because we'd want faster start, energy shield recharge rate, right? We'd want to connect there. I'd almost want to lose all of, well, that's only 1 point to connect there, which is still better than, well, that's still better than connecting here. problem is you also want this shit, which puts me like here, not there. It does put me at 2 points to connect here. Which I could do, but I'm losing a... What? Why would you not? Oh, because you'd have to do that. Yeah, okay, so it still doesn't get connected there. Ah, you're right, you're right, you're right. In fact, we would lose all of that. You only end up taking that one. In fact, you probably don't even need to take that. You probably pull all those out and come back out to here, I think. Because you go CI in this one. The update part of the building already? No. Faster start, faster start. Faster start. And faster start. Now, I don't, as much as we don't want slower start, you still take that because 60% is disgusting. So we could connect here. And then what? We would just not connect there. Like, I mean, this makes for like smoother pathing while leveling, but like, it's the same amount of fucking points. I mean, I guess you don't need the recovery rate wheel. Yeah, but even then, it's still 2 points. I almost want to get down there and take that. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 travels for then spell, and duration. Ah, I don't know about that. Didn't say it was great. Fair. Honestly, it would be pretty tempting to take those nodes. If I was CI and doing it that way, I'm really only 1 travel node away from these. Faster start, faster start, faster start, faster start. It's another 65% faster start. Faster start is pretty insane when you start getting it up there. This bit, I've already got that. This just makes the recharge rate faster, which is not necessary. Good enough of that. You just need faster start. That also just makes it faster. Morning. All right, so like at a glance, mobile starter is safe. Good luck. I've decided to abandon minions entirely. Fuck them. Unless I change my mind, of course. Who knows? Like, we don't actually have any information, which is crazy for it being a Wednesday. We don't have the tree. We don't have the ascendancy nodes. We got nothing. Like, it's crazy. Do you mean these ones? Because I took those. So just looking at it, I feel like as long as I can get my hands on it, I'd rather do the recoup thing. I mean, the recoup is still ES, but like it's not CI. And it's like it's a hybrid. You'll expect to have like 2k life and like maybe, I mean, this league it would have been 8 or 9, but assuming that they nerf some of it, maybe like 6k energy shield, and just like a ton of recoup, right? This was the RPG Mastering Contest for PB2 in early access versus D2 release, but should still be in early access. I don't even think that's the same. Man, it really does feel a lot like every good node costs the super expensive ones. 100%, right? Does it feel a little extreme? Because it's not like the best nodes. It's like the tier 1, the tier 2, and the tier 3 nodes all cost the really expensive one. So like, to me at least, it doesn't feel like there's a progression of what I might do day 1 to day 4. It's find the only one you can afford that has some sort of effect. And then after that, just get the good one, because they're all stupidly expensive. So like, get the perfect one after that. Oh, there is a calculator. See if there's anything in here that I like the look of. With any of these first 5 for sure. I definitely don't want any of the concentrateds. And honestly, I don't even really want despairs. And I'm going to say you only have 2 liquids, so you can't upgrade them to despair. So like, this would be... You need to discuss. You mean not have discussed as well? I'll leave it at 1. We'll see. Someone says, does think I have it? Yeah, cool. I mean, honestly, efficient casting might be right up there. 20% mana cost efficacy could be really useful early, depending on how my mana goes. That's pretty cheap. The original build had curse magnitude. What is this here? I don't know. Hang on. Let me finish looking through this. See if there's anything even remotely fucking good. I mean, freedom of movement would be pretty cool, but I assume that that's getting it nerfed. What they didn't tag the wolves as minions? I believe they're tagged as companions, not minions. Huh. Infused flesh. Curse magnitude stuff. So I don't know how to possibly fit that in. The duration is all worthless. So that would be 4 points for 10% magnitude. Now going this way would be better, but it's 2 travel nodes. And to be honest, maybe it should be there, because I will be running 2 blasphemies. But it's already a level 88 tree. So if I do add those, it'll be later, because that brings me to 94. And I'm really just sort of playing around with the idea. I don't actually know if the way I do this will be good on League Start or anything. Any idea? First, might pick the leader. Yeah. Yeah, I just haven't valued the extra effect of my 2 curses that highly right now. But I could be wrong about that. Maybe I'm supposed to. The thing is, I'm not very good at PoE 2 yet. Like I'm just not in a position. Okay, here's the thing. I'm in a position for PoE 2 where it would be very easy for me to talk about it like I do understand what's going on and like my ideas are the best and you should follow it. And I could make videos portraying myself as somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing. And I should do that to make money. But the reality is I'm not that good at this yet. I'm not, and I'm doing my best. I'm working it out. I'm doing my research. I'm watching all of the videos from people who do know what they're doing. I'm finding a lot of videos from people who sound like they know what they're doing, but then don't. So like, you know, I'd rather just be like, well, I'm gonna try stuff and we'll see how it works. Here's my idea. I hope it doesn't fuck anybody up. Good luck. Like we're all shit together. I don't know. Like we're all shit together. That's all I got. The thing about me is that I've never actually been good at video games at all. What I am good at is just having a fuckload of time and getting into the weeds of things and figuring out how things work eventually, and then eventually what ends up happening, same as all my builds in PoE 1, is I find eventually the little hidden diamond playstyle wise of things that I really like. I familiarize myself with all of those mechanics, and then I try my best to make a build that could be done by somebody with 4 IQ points and 2 stumps for hands, and that will still just play fine, and you'll just be able to get, with just 2 stumps for hands, we'll be able to get all the way to the end game and kill everything. That's my plan. That's always my plan. Make builds that Papega idiots with stumps for hands can still do the endgame on. That's always my plan. because otherwise I'll never get to endgame. Yes, because in game I'm not very good. My reaction times are slow. I'm going to get hit by things. I'm not going to dodge out of the way. I'm gonna fuck up, and my build needs to make up for my Papega ass playing it, right? That's always the plan. But there just hasn't been enough time in PoE 2 yet, and everything keeps changing so often, and we don't even have all the tools we're supposed to have in our shed yet, and so I don't really feel super comfortable putting out build guides being like, this is what you should do, this is gonna be amazing, until I actually fucking know. I'm not saying everybody who puts out build guides and says this is going to be great is trolling you, because some people do know what they're doing. There are plenty of people who are smarter than me. But there are also plenty of people who are doing really shit guides. Right? There are also people doing really shit guides. And I would rather be someone who admits to not knowing what they're doing and just shares my current plans and we all work it out together than put out garbage bait stuff. Like, that's just, I'd rather suffer with everybody else than send everyone into the hole by themselves. Want to Dendra bait people again, right? On the recoup version, maybe you want to find the destiny of the recoup amulet? No. So the reason for that is the life is never going to be the problem. Even in this basic bitch gear, we've still got 70. Well, let's get rid of the amulet, right? Let's just say we just managed to get that thing, right? So how recoup works is it's the total damage you take anywhere, whether it's to life or energy shield or mana or whatever, the total damage you take recouped. So even without the amulet, we're looking at 65%. You only are going to take 15% of the damage that you take to your life, right? Because we're going to get 5% here and 10% on the helmet. Oh, 15. You can go up to, no, yeah, 10. So that's 15%. So only 15% of the damage we take is actually going to hit our life pool. But even without the amulet, we're going to recoup 65% of the damage we take. In other words, life is never going to be a problem. You'll be fine. You've got so much more life recoup than you could possibly need, right? The problem is if you're taking 15% to your life, that means you're taking 85% to your energy shield, of which we only have 65% recoup here plus 3, so 68% without the amulet. Although it is also plus 20% because of this node. So 68 times 1.2 equals 81. So we will be recouping 81% of the damage we take to energy shield. However, we will be taking 85% of the damage to energy shield. So in this setup without the amulet, we could still die to a whole bunch of little hits. You will still eventually die. But as long as you don't get killed within a 2-second or 3-second window, that's still pretty fucking tanky even without the amulet, right? Once you throw the amulet on top of it, get another 20 to 24%. Now we're in the positive territory where we recoup more damage than we actually take. And things that will help a lot will be nodes like this, anointing nodes like that. Recoup happening faster is amazing. The more recoup faster you can get, the better, right? So this being recovery rate is the same as recoup faster. Recovery rate is going to increase that speed. So that's great. We love that. And then recoup faster would also be fantastic because that's just going to shorten the amount of time before you become immune, right? It's also why recoup is pretty bad on most other characters, because recoup happens over 8 seconds. So if you're recouping 100% of your life over 8 seconds, then you can get killed in a 6-second window from a bunch of little hits because you're not up to fully recouping yet, right? But if you're doing it in a 4-second window, then you suddenly got this much smaller window in which a bunch of little hits are able to kill you, right? And then you lower that speed, you lower that window even more with nodes like this or jewels. You increase your recoup with nodes like this, and that's just how we're supposed to get tanky. That's the idea. That's the idea. Yeah, and if shit gets crazy, you stop time. And also real important, we're going to have an AoE blasphemy temp chains and despair. Temp chains is going to slow everything by a lot. It is also going to put hinder on mobs, which will slow their movement speed by a lot. It is also going to have this thing. Our presence is relatively small, but if anything does get close enough to be in the presence range, it's going to get an additional 20% slow. So like, it is also actually pretty hard to get hit a lot because we are just slowing everything. If I can't go faster, then I can slow down the rest of the game. Right? I can't get movement speed here like a Deadeye, so instead I will slow everyone else down. Right? Sandevastan? I kinda. Well, one of the bigger long-standing complaints about PoE is that we don't move, generally speaking, not Denai's, but we don't move fast enough compared to the mobs. Well, I can't do anything about us moving faster, right? I can't fix that from here. All the move faster things are down here, and I just can't be here and play this build. Like this is just all the move faster stuff is down here. Like, I can't do that. But what I can do is make them all slower. Will it be as fast and efficient as being Pathfinder or Deadeye? No. But will it be fun? Yes. Yes, it will. What you're saying is reroll Pathfinder? If the minions look really good, then I might do minions as a second build, but I doubt they will. And if they don't, I'll probably be Pathfinder of some kind as a second build. And considering for boss clear skill is Essence Strain Contagion. He might even do PoE 1 as a second build. You know what? There's a good chance that it's just so not worth playing that it's private league. And we just don't fucking do a second build. We're just like, you know what? Let's see if we can get a few hundred people to play a private league in PoE 1. And we'll just go back. Another league where we have dynamite a few hours before launch. Enough to mad scramble to find out the information. Does look a bit like that. Right. I'll be back in just a moment. A vintage story for my backup plan. Nice. Right, back in a sec. Okay. So, the next thing to think about is how I'm going to level it. First ones to come out of those. Second ones to come out are going to be all of them. I'm not going to have a jewel anyway. That's level 80. Fuck, did that wrong. What the fuck did I just do? Hold on. What did I just do? Right, the tree named 80 is the actual recoup tree. The one named level 80 is one I just fucking made up. Get rid of that. The one named 80 is the actual recoup tree. This one needs to be renamed level 80. The one named 80 needs to be renamed recoup. So we're definitely going to get rid of them. Probably all the way back to there. Yep. Cool. Okay, we're going to be using that one to begin with, and we're not going to be going through energy shield nodes, which means we're going to drop all of that. This one's going to be level 50, so we're probably not into recoup yet at all. So that can all go, and so can that. That's level 62. So we still got to go down a bit here. Almost certainly don't need any of that. Oops. We're also just going to get rid of those two. And at level 70, we're going to take... I think you do the recoup thing last. Because I expect you just sort of... You know them to talk about the Wyvern Breath. Yes, the problem with it being it's an attack, not a spell. So I can't use Black Flame Covenant to convert it. But... seeing... The reason I started this is because I am tempted to try and convert this into a Wyvern Breath Ignite build later on when I have a little bit of money, like a few days into the league. But also he mentioned that Incinerate received that same kind of buff, and I think that will be really, really good. You're going to be using the stars because of the buffs. I don't know. Figure that out as I go. Are they buffing stars? Yes. What? Level 51. Take that node off. Level 51. The fuck are you talking about? Level 51. Level 51. What has happened? I don't know what I've done. I actually don't know what I've done. Okay. But like, okay, let's take away those nodes. Well, I took away 3 nodes and I went from 51 to 50. Is it fucking guessing? What is happening? Maybe? Maybe that's what's happening. Whatever. The max block is stuck it. Right, okay. I've also done this thing where I just allocate every single node as strength in my entire path of building, with the assumption that hopefully people can figure out that if you need dex, take a dex node, and if you need strength, take a strength node, and if you need neither, take a strength, right? Like if you need int or dex, take them, and then everything else goes into strength. Some child, you know, I mean, look. If I was killed, yeah. What I normally do is, like for me, I'll go strength, dex, int, strength, dex, int, then take those nodes, and then I'll end up going int, int, int because I'll need them for my skills, and then I'll take this wheel, and then it'll be strength, dex again to solve them, and then it'll be whatever int I need for my skills to level up, and then strength for everything else, right? And then I worry about stats like balancing properly to what I need later on. But you just do a little bit of like a shuffle of everything until, just to make sure that you can level and swap your support gems and do whatever you need, etc., right? but then you can't have Sands of Time. I really do like Sands of Time. If I do the recoup stuff, I have to pick between either quick Sands of Time or Apex of Movement. I don't actually know which one I like more. But you definitely want to take this as your first ascendancy. It's not that expensive to respec out. This is for sure your first ascendancy. And just get enough damage so time stop doesn't matter. Then there's no point in being this ascendancy. The whole thing, the whole reason you do this is time stop. Sands of Time is another button. Nope. This is the one that swaps between area of effect and damage in like a rotating thing. Just automatically. Like a seesaw. I don't take that out of principle. Yeah, I actually fucking hate things that do that. So, you know what? Like, I'm on board. Just on pure principle alone. How about go fuck yourself? Right? Like, pure principle alone. Get fucked. Don't know what level you end up at. We drop back to here. What level do you end up at? 12. Cool. So they can get all the information ahead of time, set a path of building updates for 2 days before, and give us all 2 days of theory crafting. I wish that too. The problem is I don't think they have all the information 2 days before. They're not done. They work on it until around about 6 to 8 p.m. Friday night for something that launches 9 a.m. Saturday morning for them. Like, they work up to about 13 or 14 hours before the league's launch. Need to stop that? I mean, that's how they've done it the whole time. That's how they've done it the whole time. Isn't doing the cursor key being low enough? Probably. Oof. I do agree, although a week before seems excessive, but I do think that like today should be the final day for like updates for the push, like the Wednesday now, so that like the latest possible time that they would hand out information, JSON data, patch notes, things like that would be like late Wednesday night, like around like now or a few hours before now, going home Wednesday. Like that should be, that's the patch. So we've got like two and a half full days to be like, okay, what do we got? Update tools, have a look at all of our notes, etc. Make plans. I think a week before is just a little excessive. Like there's just no real reason for it to be like that. But like Wednesday is a pretty good day, I would think. Then we've got, for us, all of Thursday and all of Friday to like look at things. Yeah, and it also means they get QA testing in those last 3 days, right? You get to push that to your alpha server and be like, here you go, alpha testers, what do you got for me? Right? And they can still work on like bug fixes and shit like that. There are also other things that you can do in the last few days after like you can be like, ah, man, like if you're like, oh man, these 3 new Foulborn uniques didn't make it in, we can still finish them up and add them to the patch a week in, right? You don't have to like stop all work. You can just have a patch ready Wednesdays is the goal instead of Friday night, and then be like, that's the one we're pushing. Push that to the alpha servers, let them test some stuff, start figuring out what you need to fix ahead of time. Was it reasonably fast? I think he got his filter information today, didn't he? We all got it, but wasn't that today? Yeah, 11 hours ago. This came with all the information. When this comes out, this is what Neversink needs to work on his shit. Right? I think he gets some sort of files or some shit that go with this, but it's not any more information. It's just the data in a usable format that he can use, but he doesn't get any. He knows the day we know, he knows what all these things are, right? Like I don't think he's got earlier access or anything like that. What the fuck are these? Thesis. Augments. Okay, if you say so. It must be new soccer rules from the league, yeah. I wonder what they do. Player 2 in the league, but he does. What's his name? Is she where you replace the lemon stuff? No, because those are not storable. And also, I'm still really annoyed that the limbs are going to get taken away from me whenever I die. That's not fun. No one wants it. I haven't heard a single person say that's good. Except Jonathan, who goes, oh, we just did that because we thought it would be fun. Wrong. Not fun. Fuck you. Ben, hey, real quick, the opinion on this topic of people who play in hardcore, fucking irrelevant. Just saying. Just on this topic, the opinion of people who play in hardcore, fucking irrelevant. Doesn't matter. Right. I'll be back in just 1 second. Okay, death, lock up the result in death. There's no way I'd ever do hardcore. Yeah. Like, I would, and I've done hardcore before, but like, I'm not interested in doing it again. Okay, so what would I be looking at? First let's make an amulet. In theory, how much spirit do I need?
Yesterday I communed with the beast. Now I am walking a bit silly.
Okay. Shit. What curse? The one that has slow potency. Oh, it's called slow potency. Okay. Anger Elbow, the 51-month reset. Is that what I would put on it? I don't think I'd use Heightened Curse. I think you could just do Ritualistic and Magnified Effects. Yeah, like that. So we then want Withering Presence. And then is there any things we want here? Like maybe I'll want Clarity, but I don't know. I mean, you're probably just doing Prolonged Duration. And then like one of the masteries for like plus level. I think that's kind of it. Okay, Time Freeze. Time Freeze is gonna have... Why can't I put supports here? The fuck? I have to put the skill gem in for it. Okay, sure. So it'll be Prolonged Duration for sure. And then Second Wind. But then, as nice as Second Wind is, it would then be cooldown and recovery to counter that. Do Uniga multiple, can it work? Yes. You're not actually like locked in. The shape shifting and everything, including the wolves and everything, they come from the weapon talisman, not actually the druid. Right? Every probably magnified area. I don't really need a fifth one. I don't really need a fifth one. Or sixth one, or whatever it is. So something like that. Then obviously all spells. I guess we'll put it at tier 2. So something like that would go on. Give you enough spirit to have a little tiny bit of leeway. Be careful, wolf can't loot no pockets. There is another. Nice. Nailed it. That one debuffs you inflict have 30% increased slow magnitude. Huge. Huge. Temp chains and hinder and the presence slow all stronger. Great. Fantastic. Absolutely. In slow magnitude? Yeah. Because we've got apex of movement, an AoE hinder, and an AoE temp chains. So it's sort of like, yeah, just slow everything. If I can't go fast, then fuck them. Right? It was a speed police. Hey, I want to go fast. I don't want the mob to go fast. Okay, so we need something for a wand, probably. Does it fucking matter what kind of wand? Does it even matter? I mean, I don't think it does. I can't confirm, then neither can you. You know what though? Yeah, fuck them. So we want to try and get some spell damage. And then double extra as. In an ideal world, I would have a good spell damage and then like 50% extra as from the weapon there. You really want plus to all skills. That's like the most important bit. because we've got a fire and chaos skills. I mean, like, flammability magnitude is cool, but like, cast speed's even better. And potentially flammability magnitude. I feel like that's like, it's like the best last node, but it's also not that important, right? Like, let's just say you get 60. Boop. Then you're gonna want to craft a what do you call it? A foci. Focus. I mean, spell damage or chaos damage. It doesn't actually fucking matter. Because in a perfect world, you're gonna have double energy shield and either spell or chaos. You're gonna have leveled all spells again. And then we're gonna have what? I mean, a resistance, I guess. Two resistances, really. I mean, you could also put cast speed on here. Cast speed is nice. Cast speed is real nice. What do we think about just not including resistances in like any of the gear? I'm just saying, cut resistances, please. Like, is that cooked? Is that fucked? The thing is, if I put specific bases in or like specific resistances in, then it's just as hard because people look for those exact specific resistances, right? And then we're just like, well, that's not fucking helpful either. And been some people doing that in the past, right? But only because they had 17 uniques on, and you're just like, where? How could I possibly? Always go for maximum movement speed and get whatever energy shield or life you can get. Res swap would go hard in PoE2 since it doesn't exist. I agree. I want res swap. I fully agree. Ta-da, there's a ring. And a second one. This is fire. I can work when you spec in a black flame. I have no idea, to be honest. Belts. Just presume not in the way that would be most fun. I mean, yikes! But also, maybe. Here you can get like a bunch of mana as well, pretty easily. Honestly, you don't need any of them. Strength if you need it. Choo-doo. Hey. Having those specific pieces except for things like attack speed, physical only, change state, unused affixes from gear. Like you have 10 open suffixes and can cap tier 3 res rolls. That would be cool. Didn't you try this and it kind of sucked? No, I tried it and it was great. You know, I was having a ball. I don't think I've giggled as much as I giggled playing this build the whole time. I was in solo self-found, and so my gear was kind of terrible for it. Did you feel this bit? I did not. Not golden charm. Unfortunately, it doesn't affect the mob you actually kill. Yeah, that one. There.
Hey folks, what if I told you that one of the best mapping skills in the game is actually a single target skill? And what if I also said that in 0.4 the damage on what you're seeing here was buffed by about 40%? And then this same
then I'm
Amazon
coming
shell
my
might be
pants.
one of the best shapeshifters in the coming patch if you were planning on going bear or wyvern, which I plan on experimenting with. It's also an extremely fast mapper, excellent at bossing, and Amazon neatly ties a bow around what I expect to be an extremely annoying problem for the new Talisman shapeshifters in charge generation. This is the build I played almost all of patch 0.3. A Vol's Protector Amazon running Nova Falling Thunder, a tanky one-button all-content build. Nova Projectiles turns our single target skill into a map-clearing monster, now without the 40% less damage. We generate the vast majority of our projectiles through power charges, and so trading 4 projectiles for 40% more damage is extremely worthwhile. Now, I said a lot, so let me dig into some of the important things. Probably the best place to start is charge generation. GGG's design philosophy for combo gameplay heavily limits single target skills, often requiring a bunch of work to create a scenario where you can spend charges. Vol's Protector provides charge generation that is desperately needed and was buffed this patch. However, there are some pretty substantial downsides. One, it's weak defensively. Armor without investment isn't great, and it doesn't have a lot of ES. Thankfully it was buffed a little bit this patch, but an important thing in 0.4 is an increase in the damage reduction on bosses when they first spawn in. This means being durable and being able to take a few hits is going to be important. The second problem we need to solve is infrequent charge generation, 25% chance per crit, and crit capping is not the easiest thing in Path of Exile. The best solution, in my opinion, is the Amazon Ascendancy, which can make you incredibly tanky. Stalking Panther neatly works around the bad chest piece by doubling the values of evasion on your other pieces of gear. My character is running around 4.5k EHP, 70% evade, 50% deflect, and comfortably farmed all content through all the hardest things the game had to offer. Mystic Harvest also means we get Life Leech, which feels incredibly good. And that's Life Leech from our elemental damage, of which we do a lot. If you wanted to go full-on Immortal, you could even go Essentia Sanguis, but I never really felt the need. Now that second problem, infrequent charges, is also annoying. However, crit capping with Amazon is among the easiest in the game. We're an attack build with a decent amount of accuracy, and the critical strike ascendancy almost doubles my crit chance for my main hand. Reliably critting it itself isn't enough though, and in 0.3, the enabling of instant weapon swap is what really made this build possible. I'm using weapon swap points to lean into attack speed on my main hand, and I'm leaning into damage on my secondary. Meaning, when I hit really hard, and I don't need to combo, which is usually how Invokers and other classes play Falling Thunder. My main hand attack speed in this configuration is almost 8 times per second, and it's an AoE skill, meaning a pack of mobs basically instantly generates all of our charges, and on bosses it takes a couple seconds. Now to show you what this looks like, let me demonstrate what charge generation looks like. I want you to watch the power charges in the upper left hand of the screen. Falling Thunder, as it pierces and chains around, will also be critting and generating charges, as does Herald of Thunder, coupled with a high attacks per second movement skill in Whirling Slash, and we go fast, like really fast. I'm using a Sky Sliver in my main hand, and even without any movement speed on our gear, this is every bit as fast as a Deadeye. Now the second, I think, most interesting thing I said in the intro is about shapeshifting. Why might Amazon be the best package for it? And that's because in the reveal they said most of the actual skills for shapeshifters are gated behind slow time-based charge generation or war cries to gather endurance or power charges for the bear and wyvern. Now, as I showed just a second ago, charge generation is mostly solved and Amazon neatly works around the downside. We're well positioned in the tree to take resonance, which gives us endurance charges instead of power charges, which could enable both wyvern and bear payoff skills. And I fully intend to try and abuse rapid charge generation to its maximal potential on a talisman offhand. Not only that, Amazon is well positioned in the tree to take advantage of the strongest crit nodes, and we have easy rage generation from Whirling Slash. Now, I have to caveat, we don't know what the passive tree looks like. However, historically, the right side, and specifically the bottom right side of the tree, has always been much stronger than basically everywhere else. For wyvern and bear, I fully expect to Whirling Slash around the map quickly, and then instantly swap over to a bear or wyvern skill and spend the charges that I've been building, just like I'm doing here with Falling Thunder. Now as a backup, if all the charge spenders feel terrible to play, I can still play Falling Thunder, which I know is going to be very good. For bossing, the gear stays the same. If you want more damage on pinnacle bosses, you can swap into Rakiatas or Garakans, which depending on how you were playing was either buffed or nerfed, but you don't have to. There is more than enough damage to one-tap basically everything. I like one-button builds. In fact, my main challenge each league is trying to figure out how to remove all the combo gameplay and turn it into something that I enjoy playing. The gearing requirements for this build aren't that bad. We don't need movement speed on boots, which is often the affix that costs the most to acquire. The most important piece, the offhand quarterstaff for Falling Thunder, can be deterministically crafted, even with the removal of the homogenizing exalt, and I'll show you how to do that a bit later. I made my endgame weapon for about 10 divines last league by sequencing essences. Sky Sliver is somewhat rare, but not wildly so, and you can use a rare spear without any issues. What I'm still working on is a full leveling progression, and I'll be working on that over on Twitch over the next couple days. Feel free to stop by or say hi or ask questions, or if you just want to see what the build looks like. I'll be putting my progression notes on Mobalytics, just as like I did in previous leagues, and you can follow along there. Alright, that's all I've got for now. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.
Yeah. Oops.
What is up, boys?
Get out of here. I'll watch that later. I will say buying disgustingly good boots that are missing movement speed is so fucking easy. They're free. If they don't have movement speed on them, they're free. Because nobody wants them. That looks pretty good. Yeah, it was a start. There was a Falling Thunder staff in the offhand. Spear in the main hand, staff in the offhand. It's a huge advantage economically. Yeah. And boots are often one of your more expensive pieces because you want to get 35% movement speed on them, and that makes them very fucking expensive. But if you can just ignore that, you can get disgustingly good boots because they're full and they can't fit movement speed, so they're trash to everyone, right? I will say, leveling as a group, by the way, if I start this build, bosses are going to be hilarious. Because that time freeze is just gonna be like, alright, is everybody ready? And it's our turn. Fuck you. As soon as we get the second ascendancy, we get group play for bosses where it just stops and doesn't get to do anything. It just nope, everybody wail on it. Fuck you. It's the bully button. That one Thorns player. Wait, that's illegal. All right, I mean, like, overall, I'm pretty happy with that progression. Am I the only person who feels like no matter what decision I make, it's gonna be the wrong one? Like no matter what I start, I'm gonna regret it, and it doesn't matter which one I pick. I'm just gonna be like, ah, man, I wish I did something else. I just And there's a Cronomancer. First of all, the Cronomancer was fucking great. What is with the Cronomancer hate? It's disgusting. It's so good. No, because you famously said FOMO isn't real. Never once did I say that. Do a better job of listening. Never once did I say FOMO isn't real. What I said is FOMO is a good thing that they should actively be trying to make you feel. Not that it's not real. That it's not bad. this is the bit that gives me pause. The only bit that gives me pause in this whole build is that, like, I 29% movement speed is like, that's only 150% less than what I want, right? Like, I just, like, what, it just, like, I, I've had some well steps. No, it's just, it's so stupid. It's just so stupid that if you're like over here, you get 120% movement speed. And if you're anywhere else in the tree, you get fucking 40 at best. Or in my case, 30. Like, it's so stupid. Like, I know this build is fun and I had so much fun playing it. But what if I just had 160% movement speed? Like, what if I just had 160% movement speed? Okay. Like, that's the bit that gets me. Like, I get it, Roa, Deadeye, stuff in this corner should be faster. When I'm putting a build together and it's 30, they should put a build together and it's 50 or 60. They're a bit faster than I am. That's great for them. It shouldn't be 120 versus my 30. That's bullshit. Right? I don't think they should be faster at all. No, it makes sense that they should be a little bit faster. I would expect, for the reasonable same level of investment, for someone in this corner to get 20 to 30 more movement speed than what I get other places. They should also be squishier to make up for that. Like, their idea is they're fast, but not as tanky. Right? But that's how it should be, is they get a little bit faster, but not as tanky. But how it is they get giga a lot faster, and then they still end up with 6,000 energy shield and a bunch of evasion anyway. And they just got everything you need over there. They're still tanky, and it's just like, okay. But again, when I say they should be faster, this is like a league start, maybe, you know, like day 2, right? Gear. While I'm at 30, your Deadeye should be running around at maybe 50, right? You're a bit faster than me. You've made your Deadeye or Pathfinder or Amazon or whatever's over here, right? You should be running around at 50 while I'm at 30 in the same level of gear. And then in the like mirror tier stuff, you could maybe get to 100, and maybe I can only get to 75 or 80, and you'd be like, yeah, you're still faster than me. But like, this is almost as high as this build will ever get. Almost. I could do this one as well. This is as high as I ever get. This is as high as I ever get. So while they're out here getting 170 now, I want them nerfed from 170 to around 100, right? And while I'm getting 34, I want myself buffed from 34 to about 80-ish. so that they're still faster, but not by much, right? They're a little bit faster than everyone else, and that you should be a little bit faster in this corner, just not by that much. Just not by that much. It's not that they shouldn't be faster, they should, but not by that much. Right? That's the deal. You could argue that their base movement speed should actually not be faster at all, and that their advantage over in this corner should be like the rower mount being able to just ignore the negative movement speed penalty, and that's the only advantage they should have to speed. You could argue that, or yeah. Like, you could argue that they should be the same base speed as everyone else. There shouldn't be movement speed nodes for them. Or if there are a few movement speed nodes, there should also be a few over here, and there should also be a few over here, and we should all have the option to take, you know, 10 or 15% off the tree without super gimping ourselves, right? Like, if there's just like a little wheel of movement speed here and a little wheel of movement speed here and a little wheel of movement speed here, and I just choose not to take them, then that's my problem, right? That's what I've got. But there's movement speed around and I chose not to take it. I'm slower, too bad, right? But I don't have the options. I don't have the ability. And that's where the problem is. Black Flame, yep. Well, Incinerate got a massive buff this league. We don't know the exact numbers, but Incinerate definitely got buffed. And this build was already fun when I played it last league. And so here we are. Though I will say, with the play rates of Cronomancer, I see no good reason why Time Freeze couldn't just be a 2-point passive. I know it's strong. Honestly, no, 2-point passive, it shouldn't be a 2-point passive. This Temporal Rift is shit. This Apex of Movement should be there. That I should be going through Apex of Movement to get to it. Present slow into Time Freeze. Like, this class is already super underplayed. Like, it's clearly underplayed. So I actually think Apex of Movement should come before Time Freeze. I also think Temporal Rift makes more sense on this side with Time Snap, and that this chance to not use cooldowns should probably go there. In fact, that's exactly how I would change it. I would like to move Apex to there, Temporal Rift to there, and now and again back up here. Literally the same nodes, just swap it, just like rotating those three around. I think it becomes a much more like thematically appropriate, and then also will gain some play rate because it'll actually be like strong enough, maybe. Temporal Rift is very much its own thing. I mean, I still don't think it would be strong enough, to be honest. Enemies in your presence are slowed by 20% could also be like, a lot of these nodes could also be buffed, to be honest. Like this one is some bullshit with its fucking just give me the 50-50 stat. But even that isn't interesting, but at least it's stronger. Right? Recoup is strong. You don't need to touch that node. Enemies in your presence are slowed. Fucking could come with a second line easily of like slows on you have 50% reduced effect or something, so that you get slowed less because it's sort of the slow thing. Probably not immune. Immune to slows on its own would probably be pretty. Honestly, maybe it could be immune to slows. Huh. What if it came with 50% reduced slow of movement speed penalty? So it could be mobs are 20% slower, you are 20% faster. Oh, actually, no, I love that. You're 20%. It's like you're sapping their movement speed, or their speed, not just movement speed. Like they're all 20% slower and you're 20% faster. See, that feels more cool. I knew in their presence. Right, hang on, I'll be back in 1 second. Whew. Okay. Well, I guess I can do the rest of these. Even though I know what I'm going to put in Essence Train. But maybe other people don't. And then Swift, and then probably considered casting. And then usually what's the plus level one? Chaos Mastery. That's the one. Gonna actually put Essence Drain in. So you can select it. How much mana does it cost? Honestly, probably efficacy. Next. Contagion. And then that usually comes with Unleash. Because it's fantastic. Magnified Effect. Because more area can only possibly ever be good. Rapid casting because it's fun to cast faster, and then probably just efficacy again. Don't know what I would use as a last one here. If I was to get 6, I never got 6 on Contagion. I wonder what people use for Contagion as a 6th. I mean, probably just Chaos Mastery again? Like, why not have +1 level? This one could help you leveling. I think you sent it to me on Discord. Wolver Storm's Bone Storm. Fucking Bone Storm. Okay. The next one is Incinerate. Now, excuse me, I don't know how you got Armor Break. Now, Incinerate should have Ignite considered Searing. Those are the important ones. There's one that says do more damage the longer you've channeled. Fuck, I don't remember what it's called. God damn it. It's like when you channel for a while, you do more damage. I think it was red. Oh, what about that one? Nope, it was not red. And then the last one would be the you gain a buttload as extra chaos and it sacrifices your health. It's in here somewhere. Man, am I ever gonna remember all the names of all of these things? Probably not. No, not that. There's definitely... It's like sacrifice 10% of your life to gain 30% extras, 35% extras chaos. That one. Because the good thing about channeling skills is it only sacrifices that 10% once, it doesn't keep going. So it's just 35% more damage. Okay. That should be everything I need. In theory, that is everything I need. How much does that spirit cost? 140 total. But Sacrosanctum comes with a little bit. It just means you do need a tiny bit more, which does mean your amulet needs to have spirit. but it doesn't have to have a lot of spirit. It could be a spirit base, or it could just have the lowest tier roll spirit on. You just need like a tiny bit more. You just need a spirit roll. Well, there we go. Some fucking basic bitch gear. Hopefully in some like good gear, I can make it to like 2k life and like 8k ES, but we'll see. I also don't have any runes in any of the gear, which I guess I should put in. That's not very druidy. Yeah. Thinking about starting Cronomancer. Unless I change my mind. Did every video? I didn't see any videos from today. I watch videos in bed, like PoE videos in bed before I go to sleep. So like anything that came out before the end of last stream, I probably watched. Probably.
Welcome everyone to opening.
Yep. Gross. I mean, obviously you want +1 skills, but like, that's expensive, right? No skills. Was it just the damage mods? Actually, I have no idea. Did they remove the damage mods or did they just lower them? I thought they just lowered them so you could get less damage. Is it levels that went away? Maybe it's levels that went away. It could be. Just want to focus on ambulance now requires 10. Yeah, okay, I thought so. To-do. Use a specific. Yep. I mean, they are foci, right? That's what I call them. Am I wrong? Right, but you wouldn't say staff have increased damage. You would say staffs have increased damage. It's just the plural. Except the right word is staffs. Right, but you wouldn't say staff has increased damage. You would say staffs have increased damage. Just you would never say focuses because that's not a word. Staves. That's just pronunciation. That's far less important. Okay, so this is kind of the plan for the whole build, and they have leveling trees, but until we get a new passive tree, I really have nothing because we don't know what actually changes here. Like, we have the concept of a plan, and now I need a new tree. Where's my new tree, please? You'll get it at 6 a.m. on Saturday and you'll like it. More likely we'll get it like Monday afternoon. That's more likely. And expect the plan to go off the rails, throw away the plan. Nice. You'll have it in game at 6 a.m. on Saturday. Okay, fair. The problem is I could change my mind. This is currently what I think I'll do. But like, what if something in those new classes that we haven't actually fucking seen properly and all the new passives changes my mind? What if the reworking of this whole area of the tree ends up like making my build significantly worse and I go, maybe not. What if I just want to do that thing that Fearless showed because it looked nice and fast and I just want to go fast because fuck you? What if like, there's so much yeah, like what if Shaman's hidden tree is like fantastic and I'm like, yo, you know, what if Shaman's hidden tree has like 45% movement speed in it and it's up this side of the tree and I'm like, yo, hold on. wait, give it to me. Like what? I don't know, man. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of it. I can't believe we didn't get any teasers today. I can't believe we didn't get something today. I honestly expected it to start on Monday for them to like release some stuff.
I know what
It's now Wednesday is over. There should have been 3 different posts with like teasers and stuff by now. Like, how is there not? Like, how is there not?
Creepers and crawlers in dark spaces. How wonderful. Death and decay! I am the apex!
People on vacation already? It's crazy that there's not teasers and stuff. Like, there just should already be. What is this MTX? What, the floating one? It's called... Fuck off. Wait.
Ancient power.
Man, if only I was actually a minion build. That league has to be great. It's called Archeon of the Atlas. And you can set it. It's got some different tiers. I think back on tier 1 it walks. Yeah. Tier 2 still walks. Looks a little cooler. Tier 3 starts floating. And then tier 4 floats and gets an extra little bit. We need to watch the Game Awards. Oh, I briefly saw that, and then I never made note of when the fucking Game Awards were to actually watch them. And by watch them, I just mean, you know, like, make sure I leave Twitch open and then go AFK, because I give a fuck. Oh my god, wait, no. No way. It's not just watch. You have to gift a sub to the Game Awards? Your favorite streamer by... Oh! Okay, well, normally I take Friday off because I go to sleep. But I guess I don't take Friday off? I guess I fucking streamed the Game Awards? What if I stream the Game Awards, but I like put the Game Awards in the corner here and I just like fucking play PoE 2 in the background? Just do a last minute practice run. Does that count? That's me, GMT plus 10. So I guess I have to be on before 10 a.m. I guess I have to be on at like 9 a.m. waiting for the Game Awards to start. I've never watched the Game Awards in my life. I have never in my life watched the Game Awards live before. Okay, that's annoying. I'll be at work and I kind of want the thing, the bear for that. What's really annoying about that is that you can't just log on to the Twitch app on your phone and donate a sub to get it, because you end up paying 30% more for that, because your phone company or Apple or Samsung want to take your they have to take their cut. So if you do happen to be at work for that and you want it anyway, the best thing you can do is open up Twitch in a browser on your phone, like set it to work like a computer, and just like pop into the stream and do the gifted sub thing there on the browser instead, because if you do it through the app you get charged 30% more. And getting a mane back there. I mean, I am getting quite a lot of hair now.
Wither away. None can oppose me.
Did you see Carbot? What the fuck? Oops. Oh, it's this guy.
Well, well. What have we got here then?
You lost, fella?
Hey, we're talking to you.
I asked you a question.
What's wrong with him?
He's lost his bloody mind.
The slapping sounds. No. The slapping sound. Oh, that's gonna be in my head.
Scatter before me.
The sound wasn't. Oh no, I know what that sound was. I understood. I understood the thing.
One day, they'll make a statue like this of me.
Not only have I heard that sound before, I've made that sound before. I didn't even need the visual for to know what was going on there.
Death, take you. Someone wanted these doors to remain shut. I should open them.
Some other musician. Oh, here, as it were. I don't know if I go that far.
Now, Jingak, I prove myself. Kundek. Atul. Mists of light.
This would appear to be proof that time does in fact pass.
Hey Hulk, hey with this 65-month resub.
Akbaria. Nakai. Hey. Atul. Atul. Nakai. Akbaria. Hey. Face me. Visions of Jara.
The future belongs to me.
Is it your turn now? Yeah. That's what we just spent most of the day doing.
In a coin.
Was setting ourselves up a build for it's my turn now. Which currently is my prevailing thought of what I'm going to league start.
A good find.
But also we have like no information, so maybe I won't. Maybe we'll do something else.
Greetings.
Maybe I still end up being a minion cuck. Maybe I find something better. Maybe I start a different build. I don't know. Who fucking knows, man?
Welcome.
Oh, we were supposed to keep going there. Changing the league stat plans 15 minutes before. This is the way. This is the way. You don't really know what I'm going to league start until about 3 hours after the league starts. And I say that because if it's in the first 3 hours, I might even still change my mind then and just log out. Just start making a new character. There's no way to know, man. The only thing I know for sure is that whatever I pick, I will regret later. I'll see something better and wish I did that. No matter what I pick. It doesn't matter what I choose. My name is Untaken.
Recent corpses. An easy distraction.
About the one thing that I'm sure that I'm not making is a lightning arrow Deadeye. I won't be doing that.
She made light work of that. I will feast on your soul. Advance with me. There are 2 more gates we must open.
I ran away too quick. You coming? There we go. It doesn't eliminate lightning arrow Pathfinder. if I made a Pathfinder, it still wouldn't be lightning arrow. I don't know, man. Lightning arrow just looks, I don't know, just severely uninteresting. I don't know. Wither away.
If we can allow the caravan through all 3 gates, my warriors will swarm them under.
There was another thing I was really tempted to start. Really tempted to start, which I haven't even mentioned yet because I keep forgetting what its name. Reap. I was really tempted to start Reap as well.
I will feast on your soul. The final gate is broken. We must continue our advance. Another corpse to serve me.
Crouching into stuff might be a lot harder now though. Yeah, but still doable.
Noxious Sycamore.
Shaman Ra? How is this possible?
Wrath of a king! I shall dethrone you, Sycamore, and leave you to the sands! The Madaketh will fall by my hand! You are unworthy! The Madaketh will fall by
Your
my
mum will fall.
hand! I tried to seek peace, and the Sycamores disgraced me. Left my corpse to rot in the sand. This time, we choose war.
You receive the death you deserved. And I shall give you a dagger!
We shall finish this. But not today.
Make haste. He must not escape.
Maybe a little more popular for them. They nerfed BalorMage's favorite support gem.
Running away.
But also, like, do you even need to be a Blood Rage for Reap anymore?
Quickly.
Reap now has a base critical strike chance of 14%. The Covenant now has skills cost life and 10% spell damage leached as life and remnant and life remnants. Between the Covenant and the 14% instead of 15% base crit, do you even need to be a Blood Mage to play Reap anymore? I don't think so.
We must battle sorcery only with sorcery. Let us return
Basically,
to the caravan
Covenant
and
is...
Zarka's wisdom.
Yeah, I mean, the Covenant alone gives you this node and this node. Yes, Reaper's a staff skill. So like that's those, and it's a spell. So like Reap is already those two ascendancies. And then you also take this one for 15% base crit. Well, its base crit is now 14%, so it's only one lower. Now sure, you did get either a bunch of life out of this, right? Or like a bunch of tankiness out of this, or a bunch of crit multi out of this. But like if you just wear a Covenant, you've basically got these three already sorted. So you actually could play something else. And the thing I was thinking about was Oracle. Yeah. But I need trees to give me any hope at that. I can't even look at that one. I can't even in theory look at that until I see the fucking points. But like it's just another one I'm thinking of, that's all.
The Countess.
Just YOLO it? Yeah, because that's historically worked out so well. Me just out here YOLOing a skill. That's how you end up with fucking... That's how you end up with the, rotten pizza sticks.
I will tell your tale.
I said Pathfinder because there's also there's also Sork pathing on a time. I mean, simplify. Control F. Or sorcerer, which also grants 4 passive skills. I mean, you could just do a little bit in the Pathfinder area to get like your movement speed and stuff, and then just skip up here with the ascent. It's not a bad, it's not a terrible thought. It's not a terrible thought, but it's Oracle that I was interested in doing that on, but like only once we see the tree, which it's fucking Wednesday, dude. Where's my fucking spoilers? I tell you what, again, this whole week we're only doing like 4 or 5 hours a day at most. There are all small streams between now and league start. I'm gonna fucking jump off. I've got that plan done. We're gonna plan more shit if they give us any information. Give me any goddamn information. There better be some fucking information tomorrow. Show me the tree. Show me the tree. At least show me all the gems. Fuck. Show me your sorry, with something. Show me anything. Overcasting is possible. It's absolutely possible. The problem is, for a spear to give you good movement speed, you need gigafast attack speed, right? Might collect surprises. We might not get it. I may end up being like, here are the 5 options I can't pick between, and then just starting like a 10-minute poll like 20 minutes before the league starts on league start morning, and just having chat vote on between the options that I can't pick between, and then just fucking run it on that. Like I'll have in my head like 3 or 4 options that are like, I just can't pick what to do, and then I'll just make it just those options. Like, you don't get to pick my build. I'll be like, these are like the 4 ones that I can't pick between. And then be like, fuck it, chat, take the wheel, pick out of my options for me. And maybe that's the way. Maybe that's the way. We look into as many different things as we can. I pick the ones that I think are cool, that I can't pick between, and then I just let chat vote the morning of league, and just go, all right, off we go. All right, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna send people over to Talkative Try. I think he's doing a podcast in like an hour or something. I know there was something coming up. I think it was today. Also, he's straight up wearing a wife beater, and that makes me want to not host him. We should definitely make fun of his singlet and tell him to put a real shirt on. Something with buttons. Alright, I'm gonna run. I will see everybody tomorrow. Bye.